Bert, he was coaching. He was coaching Pierce Holt there on the sideline. What happened to a nose tackle? You notice he's getting a little gray.
Yes, and you part your hair in the middle.
Or you had it parted in the middle by playing nose tackle a long time.
10-7 Dallas.
Sometimes I feel like that's the cameraman coming at me. And our American match commentators.
The Cowboys honorary captain Roger Staubach, who took part in the toss of the coin ceremonies before the game. Not many did it much better than he.
I think when you think of the great quarterbacks of the game, the great scramblers of the game, the winners and leaders and classic guys, Roger Staubach is always going to be at the top of that.
He'd be right there. First and 10, 49ers at the 13. Young to throw it. Looked outside, sacked and hit by Casillas. Tony Casillas.
That was one of those things, Pat, that they call a coverage sack. Because Steve Young was trying to throw to the left. He had great coverage out there. There was no one to throw to. And then Casillas finally gets him. Watch him here. He's looking to his left. He's looking. He pumps. He has to come back. And when he comes back, he comes right into Tony Casillas' arms.
Dallas timeout. They have one left.
And here's how they're blocking on the other side against Charles Haley. You see Steve Wallace is just taking away that outside, knowing that he has help from the inside from Guy McIntyre. Someone may get there. Casillas gets there, but Charles Haley on that play wasn't going to get there.
That's the book on Steve Young. One lost helmet. Luckily, he got that back.
He's been hurried 6 times and knocked down twice. And again, only lost 1 helmet, as you say. And for a guy, you know, Steve Young's one of those guys that doesn't comb his hair. So a lost helmet isn't as effective. And a guy that doesn't go there doesn't affect him as much.
He's 9 out of 11, however. Second down. Waters started in motion. The handoff is to Rathman. Rathman inside the 10 to about the 9, stopped by Tolbert.
Now I see Harris Barton out there lost his helmet. You know, the field is good.
Yeah.
The footing's real good, but guys seem to be losing their helmet. Here's a little trap play. Guy McIntyre comes around. Woody Rathman leaves his guy, comes to the outside, bounces out 1 hole. That brings up a 3rd down. Now they're going to have to get into a passing situation here.
Another Dallas timeout, and that takes care of all of theirs.
Steve Bono, he's the 3rd quarterback, and he's active because he's the holder. Joe Montana in this game would be the backup quarterback. And again, just like last week, the only way Montana would play is if Steve Young got hurt. During the practice, Steve Young got most of the practice plays. Montana coming into this game knows that he's a number 2 quarterback, and the only way he goes in is if Steve Young gets hurt.
Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry will take a look at the first half, and Dan Rather will have an update on the bombing of Iraq. 3rd and 7. Young to throw it. Batted down. Woodson, I believe, got the hand up. Might have been Haley. Let's see.
It's going to be on his left side. You see, Haley is moved inside. He's working over Wallace. It was him. You see, Wallace started him. Then he was passing him off to McIntyre. So Wallace started. He punches him. And then when he lets him go, watch, he lets go right now. And when he lets go, Haley gets his right arm up and knocks that ball down. Because he can cause havoc. When Charles Haley goes to the inside, he can make bad things happen to the offense.
Bono holding. Tolbert from 28 yards. Is good, and we have a tie score at 10 with 1:19 left to play in the first half. It has stopped raining, and again, that ground crew, not to harp on it, but the crew they brought in to get this field in shape did a wonderful job. Not sure what that is or if we want to comment on it.
I know what that is, though. That's Steve Wallace, who is a heck of a tackle. Steve Wallace is one of the best tackles in this game, and he's going to have a fight all day on his hands with Charles Haley. Talking to Charles Haley yesterday, and he says, he said, I practiced against Steve Wallace, and I practiced against Harris Barton. They're going to know me and all that stuff, but they don't know me going 100% because I never practiced against them going 100%. But today, this is it. I'm going to be focused, and I'm going to go 100% all day.
Now the sun has broken through. The players can see their shadows for the first time in about 2 weeks.
And I'm sure that's the last thing in their mind.
Right.
I used to always tell how fast a guy was by how far the mud went up in the back of his pants. Like if the mud just went a little way up when the guy would run, he was slow. And a guy like Cliff Branch, when he would run, he would kick mud all the way up to his shoulder pads. Art Shell would kick it up to the top of his socks.
Cliff Branch needed mud flaps. Art did not.
No. Art didn't need anything. Art was like Nate Newton. And they just kind of stayed right there plugged in the ground.
Short kick. Robert Jones watches it sail out of bounds, and the Cowboys will take over at the 35. They're out of timeouts. 1 minute and 19 seconds left to play in the first half.
And the Cowboys did take those timeouts there when the 49ers were down there. They knew the 49ers were going to have to either score a touchdown or kick a field goal, but they were taking their timeouts so that they would get this time right now. They got 1 minute 19 seconds before the half is over.
Aikman is 8 out of 13 for 86 yards. Emmitt Smith has the lone touchdown. That's for Dallas. Here's Aikman, draw play to Emmitt Smith with room. Emmitt Smith to midfield. Stopped by Dennis Brown, a pickup of 15. Stopped by Dana Hall with Dennis Brown.
The Cowboys again have no timeouts. They'll go no huddle. You'd think somewhere on this drive they're going to have to try and get the ball to Michael Irvin.
55 seconds left to play in the first half. To Smith. He's headed for out of bounds. Gets there. Chased by Hanks, who had a rib problem earlier, but apparently that's over.
I think they have to take a shot here. They've been successful throwing to Emmitt Smith. They've been successful with Novacek, with Johnston, and I think they have to go here to a Harper or Michael Irvin, one of their outside speed guys.
50 seconds left to play in the first half. 10-10 tie. 2nd and 4. 49ers will rush 4. Aikman outside to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt struggled to get out of bounds, didn't make it, so the clock continues to run. Don Griffin kept him in bounds after a gain of 8. And the clock is still running.
Well, Troy Aikman's going to have to take the ball now and just throw it down and stop the clock because of that play.
Exactly what he did.
Again, I think you have to take the shot first. I mean, somewhere on this drive, you have to take a shot for a touchdown. And, you just can't keep throwing underneath. I think you can, throw underneath to get in position for that field goal. But in a game like this, in a championship game, when you're on the road, you've used your timeout. I always feel somewhere you have to take the shot at the touchdown.
With only 27 seconds left to play in the first half, at some point.
Yeah, I think with no timeouts, they can still do both. I think they can take a shot at a touchdown and throw underneath the field goal.
Aikman back. Caught by Michael Irvin, who lunged out of bounds, but now let's see. Did he get out? The clock is stopped. Yes, he did. 14-yard pickup.
Yeah, you see the cushion out there. You can see this all the way that they have to throw to Michael Irvin. Eric Davis is playing way off him. Eric Davis is worried about the Cowboys taking a shot at the end zone. He's not going to let Michael Irvin get in the end zone, but he does let him have that deep out for a first down. And now the Cowboys are in field goal range.
With 20 seconds left. 1st and 10 Dallas at the 49er 22. Novacek is the move man this time. Aikman slipped. And down he goes in the arms of Tim Harris. He slipped as he tried to set up.
Yeah, that was the one thing that he couldn't do, is take the sack. He had to get rid of that one. Tim Harris made a heck of a move by getting there and getting that sack.
And he has to just throw it down quickly to stop the clock with 8 seconds to go, and the field goal unit comes on.
And that pass to Michael Irvin was a big play. Watch Tim Harris. He's number 92 down here in the bottom, working against Mark Tuinei. He just uses a speed rush there. There was no inside. There was no arm over. It was nothing. He just ran right by Tuinei.
43 yards out for Elliott. He's hit from 20. Berline holding. Plenty of distance, but wide right. And it's 10-10 still.
I tell you, coming into this game, these two teams were so close. You know, they didn't play each other. You could see it coming all year. Some people say the 49ers are the best team in football. Some people say the Cowboys. I think it's only fitting that the score is 10-10 at halftime.
And we still don't know if that statement is true, which is the best team.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this season. You play the whole season to get here. You go in, it's 10-10, and now it's a 30-minute game. As Jimmy Johnson said, it's just 60 more minutes before getting to the Super Bowl. Now, for both these teams going in, it's
for hanging in there with me. They kept telling me all week, don't listen to all this bull. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You know, there's only the first time anybody ever had to apologize for being healthy. But I'll tell you what, when out there, I think one bad read, that was a long one, it was intercepted. But other than that, my team hung with me, and probably, without a doubt, the biggest win I've ever been associated with.
We've had a long road, and it's been a hard one. And after we lost some of those games, I told them they're going to have to do it the hard way, and they sure have. I've never been prouder, OJ, in all the years I've coached football, than to be associated with these men on this team.
It all went on the line today in a game that we knew we had to play excellent football. Buffalo last week showed that they're back playing great football in their win against Pittsburgh. And although we had a great game against San Diego, we weren't equal to it today. They pretty much controlled it on us. They had the run going, and we couldn't run. And that little screen pass really hurt us.
You know, I think everybody gave a good effort. We just, gave the game away. You know, when you turn the ball over like we did early, giving them the ball, inside our 30-yard line a couple times. They're a good football team, and they can, they control the line of scrimmage on both sides. And when that happens, it's going to be tough to win.
Well, our friends at the American Network came back a little early to the second half, so now let's go back live to Candlestick Park, and we'll talk to Sam in just a little bit.
With room. First down, Dallas. 14-yard pickup stop by John Johnson. Keith DeLong, by the way, is out of the 49er defense with a pulled hamstring.
And this is a new play for the Cowboys. Usually they run inside on a handoff to Emmitt Smith, kind of a lead draw type of thing. We were talking to them last night, and they said that they put this in where they think they can get outside on the 49ers, and they wanted to do it with a pitch. They were a little worried about the field and the ball handling, but this was a play they had specifically for the 49ers, and they didn't show it to them till the first part of the second half.
Harris chased Aikman, didn't get to him, almost intercepted by Romanowski, who moved inside in place of DeLong. Irvin, the intended receiver.
Like you say, Keith DeLong was the guy that was really helped stuff in that run in that first half. He was stepping up in there, taking on Johnston on those lead draws, not giving Emmitt Smith a lot of room to run, and now he's out for the second half.
Pulled a hamstring, so that made that adjustment necessary for San Francisco.
But now John Johnson becomes the outside guy when Romanowski moves in.
Emmitt Smith away from one. Emmitt Smith couldn't make that cut as he normally does on this slippery field. Still good considering, but he would have cut that one back more effectively.
Yeah, there are two things that a running back can do. He can take the ball to the hole, and then he can either cut back against the grain or bounce it to the outside. In the first half, he tried to cut back against the grain a lot. That didn't work. I bet at halftime they started saying, let's try and get outside.
Third down. They need 7. Safety blitz. Aikman throws to Irvin. Irvin back to the outside, out of bounds in San Francisco territory at the 44.
And that's what a big, strong quarterback like Troy Aikman does. You see that Thane Gash, number 31, comes free right up the middle. You're going to watch him. He's here. He's going to get a jump on this thing. Boom, boom, boom. He's going to hit it right here. And he gets to Aikman just as he's throwing the ball. But look at Thane Gash come. He's coming free. Aikman not only sees it, but he has to step right into it. Now, this is tough. When you can do that, see it coming, concentrate on the guy you're throwing to, step into the throw, and make a throw like that, you're a tough quarterback.
And a good play by Irvin to read it on the outside. Aikman going deep. Harper came down with the ball. 1st and goal, Dallas inside the 10. Eric Davis just couldn't jump high enough.
You know, they were probably talking about that at halftime, knowing that they didn't throw a pass over 20 yards, that if you're going to loosen it up, you have to throw some deep. You have that speed on the outside with Harper. Just let him run up there and get the ball and out-jump Eric Davis. That's exactly what they did. I don't know that he out-jumped him as much.
I don't know that he did.
That ball just went right through Eric Davis's hands.
Looked like it might have bounced off Davis.
Can't be any better coverage than that for Eric Davis.
1st and goal at the 7. 2 tight ends. Chenell in motion. That's Emmitt Smith. Out of bounds at about the 3.5 by Dana Hall.
They were talking about John Johnson, who just came in the game, number 55. He doesn't know what hit him there. You know, you're not used to the speed or the tempo of a game when you don't play. Johnson comes in, and he looks like he's going to be in pretty good position. Watch out here on the right side. He's going to be in pretty good position right there. See him? He's free. He's going to be able to tackle Emmitt Smith. All he came up with was air.
That you could practice forever. You're so right. But until you get into a game and see how quickly things happen, you just don't know.
Now, you can see from the sidelines, and you feel when you're in there.
There was a safety blitz. Again, this is Johnston in the end zone. Flag on the play. Way on the outside. That was funny looking from the beginning.
I know, because half the players stopped playing. And if the whistle didn't blow, then that's going to be a good play and a touchdown.
Offside. Defense. Penalty is declined.
Touchdown.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think they jumped off sides, thought the play was over. No whistle blew. The play wasn't over. Johnston just ran right into the end zone. Hey, I still think he's the MVP of this game, even in the second half now, Daryl Johnston. The Moose is loose. Watch it right here. You're going to see Johnston as the first guy. And we see the 49ers jump off sides there. The blitz comes, he misses, and it looked like half the 49ers just stood there.
The extra point is good. Cowboys lead at 17-10, and you know, Jimmy Johnson said yesterday we're going to do a few different things we haven't done. Maybe one of those things was to turn the Moose loose.
And, you know, talking about the Moose being turned loose, he had 2 bad knees, had them all week, didn't say anything to anyone, and Jimmy Johnson didn't know it until the other day that he had bad knees. And he said, oh, and Johnston told him, heck, I'll be ready to go. Not only has he been catching the ball, he's been blocking, and then here he runs like a real fullback. The Moose is loose. Leon Lett, the big cat. There's the Moose. Some guys are just tough guys. I mean, some guys that are tough, the tougher things get, the bigger games get, the more they enjoy it. And whatever that thing, adrenaline or whatever that is called, energy, or getting ready for a big game or being a big game player, that just comes out in some guys more than it does others.
You get to a place sometimes where some guys don't want the ball when things get tough. Basketball, football, whatever.
And I think that's most of them.
Yeah. Except the great ones. Logan. The coverage is good this time. There's a flag on the play. Chad Hennings down to make the stop with Tommy Agee.
I think you have to give the Cowboys credit for making very good halftime adjustments. You know, seeing what they did in the first half, realized that they hadn't gotten deep.
Number 99 on the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, I think offensively the Cowboys realized two things. One, that they hadn't gotten outside on the run, so they changed that. They went to the pitch to Emmitt Smith. Two, they haven't thrown a ball deep, so they went to Harper, and that got him a touchdown on that drive.
So the 49ers will have the ball just inside their own 10. Dallas leading by a touchdown.
Well, what a start for the second half for the Dallas Cowboys. Sam, I was going to ask you. Excellent game, a great start for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go back to Candlestick Park and our American match commentators, John Madden and Pat Summerall.
Young quickly outside. Taylor struggles and struggled for 7 or 8 yards. Conversation with Ken Norton.
Yeah, we'll look at Steve Young again. Before, he'd been throwing here mostly to the left side, and you see here he only threw 3 passes to the left, 1 in the middle. He was 5 for 5 to the right, but again, over 15 yards, he only threw 1 deep pass. So I think that the 49ers also have to stretch out this defense.
Ricky Waters with the spin move, got away from a tackler and is finally brought down by Washington and Brown.
You know, and all the time of watching professional football, I don't know that I've seen a running back that uses a spin move more than Ricky Waters or better than Ricky Waters. Have you?
No.
I mean, this is, and where it works and it does something. I mean, that spin move was about a 15-yard gain. You know, some guys spin and they don't go anywhere, but I mean, Charles Haley's coming down the line. He has zeroed in. He thinks he has him, and he makes that spin. Boom, he's gone the other way. That got the 49ers out of a hole.
1st and 10 at their own 32. Young to throw it. To Rice. This is Rice, and look out. Jerry Rice out of bounds at the Dallas 32, maybe 33, a gain of 35.
Yeah, you talk about big games, you have to get your ball to the playmakers. Jerry Rice is a playmaker. You know, he's a guy that he gets the ball, then he's going to run with it. He's always thinking touchdown. He's going to make guys miss. He's going to run. He's going to take it one way to the end zone. Hey, that's why he's so good. I mean, on any type of play, you throw him a short one, he can take it all away. You cover him, you get up there, he can get by you and catch the deep one. But I think Jerry Rice has to catch more than 3 passes in this game. He has to become a bigger part of this 49.
I have a hunch he will. Young gives to Waters, who lunges inside the 30, stopped by Casillas, got 3. Russell Maryland assisted Casillas.
Yeah, these Cowboy players, you watch the offensive line there, they know that they have done their work on that last series, but they know that they're going to have some more opportunities to do this work. It's probably a type of situation that's going to come down to the last couple series in the game. Yeah, the whole thing, you know, one team is going to Super Bowl, one team's out. It'll probably be the last 2 times they have the ball.
No running backs. Young is sacked. Now he gets out of it. Stopped by Casillas. 3 Cowboys missed him.
I think about Guy McIntyre. He was in there. He kept blocking. You know, a quarterback has protection when he's a quarterback. But then when he starts here and he starts to run with the ball, now he becomes a running back. And Steve Young is so strong. I mean, he has strong legs and a strong body. The guys really have to bring everything they have to get him down. I mean, he's not one of those guys you just go poof and he goes down. I mean, you better bring whatever you have in your pockets, you better bring with you.
3rd and 9. Young back to throw it. Hit again just as he let it go, but Waters makes the catch short of a 1st down. Picked up 7. They needed 2 more. Kenneth Gant wrestled him down.
And that's going to be Jimmy Jones. You watch number 97. He's going to come in here and hit Steve Young right there just as he throws the ball. And of course, the 49ers have an interesting decision. They're going to go for a field goal here. The fans kind of wanted them to go for it to get the first down, but I think in this situation you have to kick the field goal.
And it's no gimme on a field like this.
Of course, Mike Topher has already missed one today.
Right. This from almost 43 yards away. Bono holding. That's going to get there and get through. It's good at 17-13. Dallas leads with 6:25 left in the third quarter.
Well, Mike Kofer keeping his footing there.
Back at Candlestick Park. Dallas 17, San Francisco 13. Kofer set to kick off. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Smith and Martin deep for the Cowboys. Good kick this time. Kelvin Martin. Kmart. Down at the 20. A little scuffle after he was down. Nothing serious. 6:16 left in the third.
I've never seen anything like this.
Troy Aikman. No interceptions in his last 95 pass attempts.
He has matured into a real effective quarterback, you know, where he makes his reads quickly. He comes off his first receiver and gets to a second and third as well as anyone.
Harris jumped but got back. Aikman. Caught by Irvin on the slant. Tackled by Eric Davis. A gain of 7.
Again, this is just a quick pass. He's just going to go up 1, 2, 3, then slant to the inside, and the ball's right there. Now, what the offensive linemen want to do is they want to get their guys' hands down. Watch right here, and you watch Eric Williams. He has to get the passing lane. So the way you get the passing lane is, boom, you just chop your guy and cut him, then you can throw right over his head.
2nd and 3. The pitch back to Emmitt Smith. Nothing. A loss. Perhaps no gain.
Well, John Johnson has the feel of the game now, Pat. Remember down there on the other end, he missed a tackle on Emmitt Smith. This time it was the same thing. Here he takes on Johnston, plays him off with his hand, takes the inside, and makes a perfect tackle on Emmitt Smith.
Good play.
I always said sometimes you don't have the feel, you don't know how fast and quick they are. John Johnson figured it out pretty quickly. You got me once, you don't twice.
Big 3rd and 3 here. On both sides of the ball. Aikman. Irvin hung on again and got the first down. Again, it was Davis, but big and strong wide receivers do help.
And watch how he uses his body here. He's bigger than Eric Davis. He just gets inside him, shields Davis, keeps him out to his backside, and then Troy Aikman just throws it right in front of him.
Irvin may be the best at that, using his body to shield off the defensive back.
Yeah, I think he's the best at that, and I think he's among the best at going inside. You know, catching ends, those deep ends, stuff in the middle. The guy has no fear.
Well, he has 17 brothers and sisters. That helps. Darrell Johnston taken down at the 40. Dana Whitmore made the stop.
You know, one thing about this game is both of these defenses are good tackling defenses. I mean, David Whitmore, you know, make the tackle, and this is the way you're supposed to tackle. I mean, guys are going to catch balls, but after they catch the pass, you don't let them make any more yards. I mean, David Whitmore came up, boom, he hit him, he wrapped him, and took him to the ground. Now, they're going to catch some passes, but let them get those 3- and 4-yard things. Don't let them catch it and make big plays out of it.
2nd and 7 at the 40. Hand off to Emmitt Smith, a little room. Gain 4. Kevin Fagan tripped him up.
Yeah, if you look at the first half in the Cowboys and see where they threw the ball, 8 of 14 to the wide receivers. That's for 133 yards, and I think they're going to have to do more of that. They only threw to their tight ends. That's Jay Novacek, 1 out of 3, and their running backs, 8 out of 8. So it's been the wide receivers and the running backs, not the tight end in this game.
3rd and 3. Aikman to Smith. Fake to Smith. To Novacek, who makes a catch. Boy, what a good fake to Smith. I thought he had the ball.
I know it, and Aikman has really been hot this second half. Whatever they did at halftime works because he's 7 out of 8 now. Jay Novacek had only caught 1 pass, but here's a counter bootleg. You see, they faked the counter. Emmitt Smith fakes in the counter. Aikman then bootlegs away from the way Smith went, and he throws it to Aikman. I mean, that's a heck of a catch here by Jay Novacek. He just stretches out as far as he can and catches that ball. And as you say, that was a good fake by Troy Aikman.
And by Emmitt Smith. And this is the lead draw to Smith, and there is nothing there. Ted Washington around the corner made the stop.
Yeah, the 49ers have really done a heck of a job of playing this lead draw because they're not only playing it at the point of attack. If we just watch it right here, you can see that right here, there's no cutback here. This is where he'd like to do is get back here. Now he has to take it into this hole. Now they force him into that hole, and then they can quickly get in from behind on him. But they don't give him any cutback. Emmitt Smith is best when he can start one way and cut back the other.
And again, it started to rain. And Aikman back to throw it. Throws behind Novacek, incomplete. And the weather's starting to move in again.
You know, and I think probably for those players and coaches down in the field, they don't even know it. Because when you think, you know, a minute 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter and you're this close. I mean, you've worked all year to get in a championship game. You're here. There's one team that's already in. The Buffalo Bills are in. One of these teams are going to play the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl.
3rd and 11. Here's Aikman in the pocket. Gets it to Smith. And Smith broke away from a couple of tacklers and got a Dallas first down. Thane Gash finally brought him down, but Emmitt Smith, you don't realize how strong he is until you see something like this.
And I tell you, he made Bill Romanowski miss. You know, as you say, he's very strong. He has great balance. Now, this is a play right there. See, Romanowski, he hit him. Emmitt Smith did a little spin on him. It was kind of a power spin to get that first down. But as you say, you know that he's quick. You know that he can get through holes, but he's also very, very strong. Look at it. On the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th guy, look at how many times they've tackled him today, or how few times the first guy's tackled him.
Smith again. And again, he surges inside the 30. Got 3 yards with that last effort. Mike Walter and Dennis Brown brought him down.
You know, it's going to be a point if the Cowboys can get a score here, then they can give the game to Emmitt Smith.
Well, they've used up a lot of time on the clock on this drive alone. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Cowboys 17, the 49ers 13.
One with a beautiful shot of Candlestick Park. The rain is now coming down, and that could make a difference to the condition of the field. Now let's go back to our match commentators.
Aikman sends Johnston in motion. 2nd and 8. Outside to Smith. First down, Dallas. Again, he made the first man miss.
You know, the other thing that impresses me about Emmitt Smith, when you talked about the field, you know, he didn't worry about that. He said he doesn't care. I mean, he'll just go out and wear whatever cleats and just play the game. And I think he is one of those guys that can play on artificial turf, on regular grass. I think he could go out and play in the parking lot, and he'd be the guy you couldn't catch.
He said earlier in the week, they worry about us slipping, They worry about the condition of the field. I'm worried about the field. It's the one that's going to take the beating.
With all these big old guys pounding on it, it's held up very well, though.
That's Emmitt Smith to the 15. Romanowski, the stop. Smith got 5.
I think this was a Dallas Cowboy plan, is to start off in the first half and not use Emmitt Smith as much, but pass, use Johnston, do all those different things. Get the 49ers off keying on Emmitt Smith. Then, if that ever happens, then in the second half, and maybe specifically in the fourth quarter, give him a heavy, heavy, heavy dose of number 22.
Only one team has trailed after 3 quarters and won. That was the Giants in 1990, right here. Smith again. To about the 11. Ted Washington stopped him, but 4 more yards.
Did you see at the end of that play when David Whitmore, the strong safety for the 49ers, came in? He stuck his shoulder in there, and boom, Emmitt Smith just knocked it right back out, and I heard an ooh. I mean, he hit him with ooh. Watch him, you're going to see 41 right there. When he hit him, he went ooh.
That's not good for a day like this. Ooh.
No, I know it. Well, when you're a safety and you come up and you got rocks in your pockets and you come up to hit a guy and he hits you and you go ooh and you go backwards, the other guy's winning that fight. And the Cowboys are now. I mean, the Cowboys' offensive line in this second half have really taken it over, and they are really dominating the line of scrimmage.
They are big, all of them. Stepnoski being the smallest. Giesecke's about 280. They're going to measure, obviously. Looks like they need a foot. That is the offensive unit, and they've done one whale of a job this year.
You know, probably the most underrated guy now is Mark Tuinei. The left tackle's been there for 10 years. Newton and Stepnoski, they're in the Pro Bowl. John Giesecke, they say, grades out the best, and I think Eric Williams, the right tackle, is the best player in the bunch, and I think that he's going to be a Pro Bowl player for 10 years.
He's going to be a superstar at that position.
When you look at a guy that's that big, he weighs 325 pounds and moves like him, he's amazing.
They compare him to Jackie Slater, and that's pretty good. Giesecke jumped early.
Hey, you just talk about him, you brag about the offensive line, and old John Giesecke jumps off sides. Number 63, he's a right guard. You're going to see him, the ball doesn't snap, there's nothing moving there. He just takes off. See him? He just leaves. He can just hold it so long, and he says, I got to go. John Giesecke is a local guy. It's funny, he's playing here, and his grandfather has had season tickets for like 25 years. His father is a 49er fan. He said that's the bad news, that he's the Cowboys and playing against the 49ers. The good news is he didn't have to get a lot of tickets because they have their own.
Season tickets, and have had forever. Aikman to throw. Quickly to Smith, who's wide open. 10, touchdown. Good block by Urban to set it up.
Tell you, these 2 drives have really meant something by this Dallas Cowboy team. They went in tight at halftime. Whatever they did, they made great adjustments. They did fine thinking, and then, of course, then the players come out and put it together. These have been 2 great drives by the Cowboys.
Great job, Emmitt.
I tell you, that ball is going to be kept by Emmitt Smith. That's going to go in the box.
And locked. Elliott's extra point is good, and Dallas leads it 24-13. 14 plays, and they kept the ball 9 minutes in that drive. Good block by Urban.
I've never seen anything like this. Is this wild? Let's go.
To 1. Cowboys are there. Darren Woodson will return to Candlestick Park after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Well, what a half for the
play. Novacek goes deep, it takes air. Irvin goes deep, takes air. No one has Emmitt Smith. Romanowski went that way. I think he made the mistake because Emmitt Smith comes out here and he's all by himself. Novacek's a tight end. He goes deep, Irvin goes deep, and if you look right here, Emmitt Smith is wide open. And then when he gets the ball wide open in the open field, he's going to get it in the end zone. I tell you, no one makes that tackle, including his own guy.
Never got him down.
There's the last guy that tries it. He can't even get him down.
The Young to throw up the middle to Brent Jones, complete. Norton made the stop on Jones.
Yeah, and then Emmitt Smith is a guy who has saved every ball that he makes a touchdown with. What's the date on it? This is a championship ball.
Haley forces Young to run. And he can do that. Darren Woodson made the stop. 9 yards for Young.
Yeah, the 49ers are going to have to go with no huddle the rest of this game, basically, because they know that they have to get 2 scores. And when you have to get 2, you want to get that first one as quickly as possible.
Young back to throw. Had some time that time. Behind Rathman, who couldn't hang on.
Hey, Steve Wallace and Charles Haley, though, are still having a fight there in the middle of the field. I mean, they were both going after each other, and both slipped in the ground. Look at Wallace, half of his right elbow's hanging out there. Here's Haley, Wallace at the bottom of the thing. Watch him, he tries to bull rush, so Wallace just bull rushes him back. They just get down and they start wrestling on the ground. There's no way Steve Wallace is going to let Haley get to Young.
Yesterday or Friday, when you asked Steve Wallace if he and Haley were friends, he just said we were. Not anymore. Sherrard in motion. Young to Rice. Rice stays on his feet. Somehow. 9-yard pickup. Woodson and Lett.
Well, again, if the 49ers are going to have a chance and they need 2 scores here with just a little over 11 minutes to go, Jerry Rice is going to have to be the big factor. I mean, he's the guy, he's the playmaker, he's the guy, he's the big-time player. You got to get the ball to him, and he has to make plays now.
Young for the first down, gets it. The big cat, Leon Lett, in the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, big cat Leon Lett, they were saying, is probably the best backup defensive lineman in football, and the way he comes in and pass rushes, I agree with that. I mean, he is a guy that is a young player now, and as he gets experience, he's going to be a real force.
Young to throw, under pressure. Up the middle, picked off by Norton. Norton still on his feet, he's got blockers. And down he goes at the 45. Brent Jones, the intended receiver. That's the 3rd San Francisco turnover.
I'll tell you, there's no way anyone's going to get that ball from Ken Norton. He's pushing guys away. You can give him a high five. You can shake his hand. But that could be the interception. That could be the play that put the 49ers away. He steps right in front of Brent Jones. Looked like Steve Young didn't see him at all because he threw it right to him. And there's no way that he is going to let that ball go. But just as he throws the ball, he gets hit. But I don't think that he saw Ken Norton at all.
I don't think he did either.
Maybe because he was getting hit.
Emmitt Smith. Smith to the 49ers 17. Griffin and Hall.
Yeah, that's a plan, and it's a heck of a plan. You get ahead, you get things going, and then you just give the game to Emmitt Smith. You let that line take control. Just control there. Now Emmitt Smith has his cutbacks. He has everything. When you give Emmitt Smith that cutback, that's the thing the 49ers were taking away early. I think this offensive line has worn down the defense of the 49ers, and the cutbacks are there now.
The man who made the interception, Ken Norton, Jr. Smith is over 100 yards, 109 and 20 carries. Emmitt Smith again. 21 carries, still 109. Fagan made the stop.
You know, interesting with Jimmy Johnson here, we know when he was at the University of Miami that he won a national championship. And there's never been a coach that's ever won a national championship and then gone on and won a Super Bowl. So Jimmy Johnson, if he goes on and wins the Super Bowl, can make history.
Well, to many in Dallas, he's already made history.
He's done an amazing job. I mean, this whole franchise, I mean, Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, the team they put together, have done an amazing job.
Aikman back to throw. To Novacek. Novacek still on his feet, out of bounds at about the 9 by Whitmore. 7-yard gain.
You know, you get down to the facts, and, you know, Jimmy Johnson can do this and this. Here's another one. Look at this. No team has ever made the Super Bowl with the NFL's leading rusher. And, of course, Emmitt Smith is the NFL's leading rusher. And I think that's one that's going to be broken here today.
That one might change. George Seifert. Frustrating day for him.
I know he's going to go back to that play, that third down play that they called holding on Emmitt Smith, gave the Cowboys a first down, but to win a championship, you have to get over those plays.
On third down, Smith with the lead draw, might be a little bit short. Dana Hall came up and read it well.
Yeah, he was on a blitz. He was blitzing right in that hole. Again, when you think of the Cowboys running, it's between the tackles. So if you're going to blitz a safety, here comes Dana Hall. Just run them right into that hole between the tackles, and you'll probably run into the hole that they're going to run the football in. The only thing is, of course, if they ever fake that and throw the ball, then you're sitting there with no one to defend.
Brings up 4th down and about maybe a yard.
There was a Moose there. I still think he was the most valuable player in the game. I know that he's not going to get any votes for most valuable player.
Well, he got yours.
Well, yeah, I mean, he got mine, but none that count. I mean, I think that now the 49er defense has been softened up.
Timeout,
and
Dallas.
I think that he was a guy that was a big part of softening up that defense.
24-13. Cowboys lead it with 7:13 left to play.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Dallas going for the first down. The handoff is to Emmitt Smith. I don't know if he made it or not. Going to be close. Mike Walter, the first man to hit him.
Number 55 has a spot there with that right foot. You see it? He has to balance his right foot. He has to balance that right foot to get the ball down. He almost fell down trying to hold his spot.
A lot of motioning by the 49ers, and they hold.
And that's the one thing they've done a good job is playing short yardage. Just needed one more little roll there, and he couldn't get it.
49ers take over. Park, and we'd like to say many thanks to our friends from Goodyear for providing these aerial pictures on what earlier was a very difficult day. Difficult day for the guys with the ball now, the 49ers at their own 6.5-yard line, trailing 24-13. Young to throw it. Just does get it out to Ricky Waters. Waters stays on his feet. First down, San Francisco at the 23. 17-yard gain. Ricky Waters tripped up by Everett.
And the 49ers going here with no huddle. They really did an outstanding job defense there, you know, on that 4th down play to get a couple more shots here.
Waters again. Broke one tackle, breaks another one. And struggles out to about the 34. That's good running.
And he's doing his part to fire this 49er team up again. I would think the thing that would really fire him up, again going no huddle here, the thing that would really fire him up is hit a big one to Jerry Rice.
First down. Young outside to Rice, who gets it out of bounds and stops the clock. Kenneth Gant wrestled him to the ground.
You know, you can do that to a team. They come on, they're starting to celebrate, then you don't get the fourth down team. You don't get the fourth down, then you come right back in, and the defense really doesn't have that same intensity that they had. And if you can hit them quickly before they get it back, you have a chance to get one.
Clock running again. 5:50 left to play. Young has him out of the huddle and ready to go. Outside, a lot of room. Mike Sherrard this time, and they move into Dallas territory at the 40.
I think Sherrard did the right thing there. You could have tried to get out of bounds to stop the clock, but you need a touchdown. You have to make a big play here, so instead of just running out of bounds, he tried to make that cut back against the grain, maybe break a tackle and take it all away. I think every 49er has to do that now.
15-yard gain. Young again has this one batted down. Leon Lett.
Leon Lett does that so well. You know, he was a basketball player. In fact, the Cowboys signed him or found him on a basketball court where they saw him dribble the length of the court and then stuff the basketball. But that one there was just a bad pass by Steve Young. I mean, that thing never got off the ground. I think that hit Guy McIntyre in the back of the head.
Before it hit Leon Lett.
Yeah, you got to get it over your guards.
2nd and 10. Rice wide right. Young has to come out of the pocket and does. Looking deep, looking over the middle. Has Brent Jones complete to about the 23. Stopped by Norton. That's a good effort by Steve Young.
And he was trying to throw to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was lined up on the right side, and he was going deep. And the Cowboys were smart. They had Jerry Rice double covered.
If they're smart, they'll do that every down from now on.
I think so. The rest of the game, they'd have two and get him a bump and everything.
Young back to throw. He hits Waters. Waters to the 12. Another 49er first down. Timeout, San Francisco.
Yeah, when you think of these drives and you think of the 49ers coming back, you think of this guy here, Joe Montana. He was the greatest at it.
I've never seen anything like this.
On and on and on and on and Ariston.
Waters out of bounds at about the 5.5-yard line by Larry Brown. 7-yard pickup.
You know, again, you talk about a game and momentum changers, and that goal line defense, that fourth down defense down on the other end set up this whole thing. And then the 49ers came out, and they've had this move here without a huddle. Steve Young has been very, very effective.
Young is 21 out of 27 on the day. Here's his 28th effort. Touchdown Rice.
Now things tighten up on that Cowboy sideline. Because they think, you know, had they kicked the field goal, 2 touchdowns, they could have tied. Now they're thinking 2 touchdowns they can lose. The 49ers have got one of the touchdowns. You get down here, any big play, like I said, you need a playmaker. The playmaker of the 49ers is Jerry Rice. If the 49ers are going to win the game, Jerry Rice has to be the guy that plays the biggest part.
Kofer for the all-important extra point here. 24-20.
Watch this replay here and just watch Steve Young's eyes. If you don't think that this is a big game and this is a competitor and this is a guy who's looking for his playmaker, then you aren't watching Steve Young's eyes.
9 plays, 93 yards. Rice was chased by Mickey Pruitt. And that's a race that Rice is going to win every time.
You have a linebacker on Jerry Rice, he's always going to be chasing him. He went all the way across the field, started on the right-hand side, went over to the left. Now the Cowboys and 49ers both have their special teams on the sideline. And I know what they're talking about. They're talking about onside kick. To the 49ers onside kick. Do the Cowboys get in an onside kick prevent? The 49ers, I don't think will onside kick, but the Cowboys will get in an onside prevent. This is what they call their hands team. You have 9 guys up, you fill all the holes for an onside kick.
Doesn't take those 49ers long to move the length of the field.
And I think because the Cowboys are in this onside prevent, you see that they got 9 guys up there in the front. I think the 49ers will kick deep. I think they would anyway with 4 minutes, 22 seconds, and 2 timeouts left.
Steve Young, by the way, was 8 out of 9 on that drive, and they do kick deep. Kevin Smith. Dancing out to the 20. Martin Harrison down to make the stop. First down, Dallas at their own 20. The Cowboys lead the 49ers 24-20.
Now we got a championship game. This is what it's all about. 4 minutes to go. The losing team is out. The winning team goes to the Super Bowl. The Cowboys were that close to put them away. They got a 4th down play. They didn't do it. And now they let the 49ers back in the game, and now they have a heck of a fight in their hands.
1st and 10, Dallas. Smith and Johnston behind Aikman. Aikman quickly. The pass to Harper. Harper off to the races. They're going to run him down, however. At about the 9-yard line, Dana Hall.
That was a heck of a call. That was a heck of a throw by Troy Aikman. Everyone had to do it. Someone had to call it, but the other guys had to make it go. Watch Alvin Harper. He's out here. He's going to come up, and he's going to come to the inside on a slant. The ball is right there, thrown perfectly. Don Griffin, who was covering him, fell down, and then Harper was off to the races. There's Norv Turner. He's the offensive coordinator. He's the guy that called the play. In fact, he's starting to feel so good. He just hits his pants like Nate Newton and stood up to watch this game.
I don't know if he feels that good quite yet.
I don't know. That was a big play, though, Pat.
1st and goal at the 9. Fake to Smith. Throw in the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Darrell Johnston. Incomplete.
Darrell Johnston hasn't been this much part of a game plan since he left Syracuse University. And we talk about most valuable player, and again, you know, he's done so many things in this game, so many of the hard things, and he's not going to get any votes for most valuable player. But we're talking about the All-Madden team next week. I think we can find a spot for him on that team, Pat.
I think so. 2nd and goal. Now he lines up at tight end. Emmitt Smith, the ball carrier, gets to about the 6, stopped by Fagan and Romanowski. 3:50 left in the game.
I'll guarantee you now, if Jimmy Johnson gets 4, well, I won't guarantee anything, but I would think after dodging that bullet, if the Cowboys get a 4th down here again, they'll probably kick a field goal.
Timeout, San Francisco. Today's game was produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The coordinating producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann. NFL Today was directed by Duke Struck. And the senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin. Post-game show coming up. Don't forget, Greg and Terry, the trophy presentation, locker room reaction. 3rd and 6 at the 6. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. This CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the San Francisco 49ers, and the National Football League is prohibited.
And we saw a shot of Jimmy Johnson there, and he believes that In football, you have to have momentum changers. He had the momentum, lost the momentum, and then his momentum changer was that pass to Alvin Harper.
Harper is split wide left this time. Third and right. Aikman to throw. Calvin Martin, touchdown. That was close. That last little lunge got him in.
Good pass protection. Troy Aikman has good time. He can step up and throw that and put everything on it to Calvin Martin. And like you said, right there, that last little lunge got the ball to break the plane to the goal line.
Much discussion by the 49ers and the officials, but touchdown has been signaled again.